Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally, and today I have a vintage 4th of July. I am going to craft my stash and decorate my tiered tray in my kitchen, so stick around. And for a DIY, I am going to start with one of these little cardboard boxes somebody paid 99 cents for, and I am going to first remove the sticker, and then I am going to paint the exterior. I know it's pretty, but it just doesn't go with what I am attempting to come up with today's video. So after I get one full thick coat of white chalk paint all over this and let it dry, then I am going to move forward. And the inspiration for this entire vignette actually came from the interior of this round box that I got at the dump, as well as some dishes that I got on the good table at the dump recently, and I just love them together. After I get that fully coated with a good thick coat and that dries, then I am going to go to my printer and I am going to print on rice paper an inspiration that I got from Yvonne at the Ginger Chick Rehab. She is always using this campfire marshmallow tin in her decor, and I thought that would be a really sweet item to put on this, given that it has red, white, and blue in it, and it looks very vintage. So I just went out and printed a copy of one that somebody I think was actually selling, just so that I could get the look and feel of that. Cut that out of rice paper, and I printed two of them, and I am going to decoupage one on the front and one on the top, and then I'm going to cut the rim and put the rim of both of them around the rim of this box. Now, if you are enjoying this video, I hope that you will hit the subscribe button. It is free to you. It helps my channel a lot, and I have a number of great things coming up for you. And you could hit like as well. I'd appreciate that. While that is drying, I took a large spindle that I had in my staff, and my husband cut that on the saw into 3 pieces, and then I went ahead and painted them all white. And then once I had them painted white as a base, I painted one with some blue and one with some red, kind of more of a dry brush, and then I am sanding back to make that look more vintage, and then I am going to take a dark antiquing wax and go over all of them to tone down those bright colors and make them look a lot more vintage and to go more with my style. Today's collaboration is Craft Your Stash, and goodness knows I have quite the stash, and it is hosted by these two lovely ladies, Tasha and Bella. I will leave their channels as well as a playlist in my description box so you can check out everyone else who has joined in. I love so much how the dark antiquing wax changes these and richens up and darkens the color, brings out some of the areas that I sanded back, and generally just makes them look much more old and vintage, and how wonderful they look with that marshmallow tin graphic. So altogether, I like how this is looking. Now, I think a cute idea would be to drill some holes in the top and to put some of the twine, the wired twine that you can find at the dollar store to make them look like firecrackers. And you could have a cute little fuse looking thing under there. You can add a tag, you could add twine around that. But I'm just going to bundle the 3 together, and I'm going to use some red and white striped fabric that I have that goes with the theme of this, and just tie that in a bundle. And of course, I need to add a little bit of that antiquing wax to the box itself and around the label to make that also look much more vintage. And then I am taking one of these little block signs that we got at our good table at the dump, and I'm actually going to use the back side because I like Jane Austen and I like the quote on the front. So I am just going to remove the sticker and tape off the edges, and then I am going to paint just the inside of this in a good thick coat of white, and then dry that with my heat gun. Once that is dry, I'm going to go ahead and take my sander, and I'm just going to sand around so that the edges don't look quite so sharp. And then I'm going to give that a little bit of a distressing, wipe that clean, and then I'm going to pull out my ink pad and my small stamps, and I'm just going to stamp the word free on this block. I could have done the 4th of July, but that's only a day, and free means so much more. In fact, when I think of the word Independence Day, I always think actually how dependent I actually am on the Lord in my life. So it's a good time for me to reflect on the dependence that I actually have on the Lord, even though we are so blessed to be independent as a nation. Now, this is the spring tiered tray in my kitchen, so I am going to take away the birds and the other items that are very springy, and I'm going to keep some of the items in this vignette, and then I'm going to add to them, and I am going to just pull in pops of color for the red, white, and blue theme, starting with a small garland of flags that I had that I'm going to just put in the background. And then I am going to just play with some of the items that I have had here on my tray, making sure that I can showcase the items that I made here today. So I will play some music while you enjoy this, and I would love to know what you think about this vignette once you see the finished product at the end. And there's a little bit of a bonus footage at the end with the other side of my kitchen to tie that in.